We begin tonight with a story about Tourette Syndrome. It's a disorder that carries a stigma and is rarely talked about in the public or in the media. But tonight, a Montgomery County teenager is telling his story about Tourette's and the airline that would not let him fly. Bob Barnard joins us now with the story you will see first on Fox 5. Bob?
Well, Sean, it's not just because he shouts things some might find offensive. No, Michael Doyle, who's 19 and lives in Rockville, says he was denied a seat on JetBlue this week because of the one word he couldn't keep silent in his mind.
I mean, they stood me out in front of everyone and told me, like I'm in kindergarten, that I'm not allowed to go on the plane.
Michael Doyle and Chaz Petteway are friends and travel companions. Were booked on a JetBlue flight from Washington to San Juan, Puerto Rico Thursday to take part in a weekend Revolutionary War reenactment.
It was a really big deal for us. It was going to be...
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, very fun time.
Doyle says he was not allowed to board his flight because of his Tourette's, but they'd planned ahead with a letter and phone calls alerting JetBlue and the TSA about his so-called ticking, frequent outbursts, vocalizing thoughts he's trying to suppress.
With all the stuff in the news about the Boston bombings and stuff, I started ticking bomb because that when I get nervous and anything on my mind will come out. So, and the things you're not supposed to say.
It didn't cause any issues at passenger screening.
We went through TSA saying bomb the whole time, and no one stopped us. No one said anything because they were aware.
But just minutes before boarding, the JetBlue pilot put the kibosh on the trip.
To me, it looks, like it was kind of discrimination,
In a statement to Fox 5 News, JetBlue officials say Doyle was, quote, deemed a safety concern by the pilot in command after using the word bomb. After further investigation, the situation was deemed innocuous.
It doesn't make up for the embarrassment.
Or the fact that we missed it.
Or the fact that we missed something we've been planning for 2 years.
Tourette's was discovered over 200 years ago, and we still don't have a cure.
Marla Gabala is chairman of the Tourette Syndrome Association of Greater Washington, has 2 teenage daughters with Tourette's.
One of the biggest misconceptions is that they can't stop doing it. And the perfect way to think about it, when you have Tourette syndrome, it is a tic. It is an involuntary response, exactly like a sneeze.
One that Doyle says leaves scars that run deep.
I mean, this has happened multiple times in my life. And it's just, it hurts.
Michael Doyle says he was offered a free round-trip ticket on another JetBlue flight, but no guarantee this wouldn't happen again. Chaz says he decided to stay behind out of loyalty to his friend. Doyle did have profane outbursts during our visit, but none that crept into the critical points he was making during our interview.
Hey,
Sean.
Bob, I have to ask you a question.
Sure.
I know a lot of people probably have misconceptions about Tourette's. I think people assume that it just happens all of the time. And during your interview, I know it was edited, but it didn't really come out, I guess, the way people perceive it.
No, there was one word we had to silence at one point. You couldn't even tell, but they're little things. In fact, after I called and showed up at the house, he kept saying, Bob Barnard, Bob Barnard. He was excited that I was there, and his mother and grandfather said they'll probably be hearing my name for a couple of weeks, but that's just the way it is with this.
All right, let's hope he is able to make that trip sometime soon. Bob Barnard, thank you. We ask our Facebook fans if the pilot made the right call. John wrote, I don't care what the circumstances are. Anyone that utters bomb is either not allowed on the plane or gets thrown off. Krista wrote, that's not right. He couldn't help it. And last time I checked, they can't pick the words they blurt out. We invite you to join the conversation on our MyFox DC Facebook page.